Okay, our topic today is the transaction analysis in the accounting equation and the double entry system. So here are 6 sample transactions that we will try to answer. Okay. First, for letter A is the business received 140,000 cash from clients for services rendered. So we received cash and it is for the services rendered by the company or the business. So we have here, we have here A1 and A2 since in every transaction we have two accounts affected, which means the double entry system. Okay, so let's try to answer. The first account affected in A is cash because, as you can see, received 140,000 cash from clients. So in accounts affected, this is the specific. So we have the assets, liability, income or equity. That will go to the type of account. For accounts affected, they are the specific ones. Like for example, assets, let's say cash, accounts receivable, supplies, and others. For liability, accounts payable, notes payable, things like that. Okay, so first. So for A, received cash, which means that the account affected for A is cash and service income. Right? So we will put first cash, then what is cash? It's an asset, right? Then, did that increase or decrease? So we will put increase since since you receive money, so it's additional cash. Is it debit or credit? It is debit since the normal balance of cash is increase, meaning it's debit. Okay, so for the second account affected, it is service income. So what type of account is it? So let's say income, or we can say equity. So did that increase or decrease? It is increase. So the normal balance of income or equity is credit. So paid 98,152 pesos to suppliers on account, meaning they have utang amounts to pay, which is 98,152 pesos to the suppliers, which they paid na. So the accounts affected for this letter or for this transaction is accounts payable and cash. Since they paid na, when we say on account, it's a liability. Since they paid, so their liability is decreased. So for the first account is accounts payable. This is a liability account. It decreased since they paid, the word paid here, since they paid. So the normal balance of liability is increase. So since this is not the normal balance, so this is, sorry. And debit, since it is not the normal balance. Okay. So for the second account is cash, since they paid cash. This is an asset account. Since they paid money, meaning their cash decreased. The normal balance of an asset is debit. Since this decreased, so it will be credit. Okay, see. Bill clients 34,986 pesos for services rendered, meaning the clients will pay them 34,986 pesos for the services rendered by their business to the clients. So the accounts affected in this transaction is accounts receivable and service income. Why accounts receivable? Since they billed their clients meaning they have money expected to enter their account, or they are expecting money from their clients for services rendered according to our transaction for services rendered. So when a business provided service, it is service income. Okay, so let's try to answer that one. The accounts affected are accounts receivable and service income rather. So accounts receivable is an asset account, which means that increase, right? Since they're expecting money. So the normal balance of asset is increase, which is debit. So we will put debit. Then for the second transaction, which is for the second account affected is service income, which is an income account or equity. But for this video, we will choose to name it income. Increase, normal balance is credit. Alright. Now let's go for D. Okay, according to D, collected 84,000. Oops. Alright. So for D, the business collected 84,097 pesos from clients on account, meaning the client paid 84,097 pesos to the business. Alright. So the accounts affected is cash and accounts receivable. Why cash? Since the client paid them, so their cash increased on account. The accounts affected are cash and accounts receivable. Why cash? First, why cash? Because they collected 84,097 pesos from clients, meaning their client paid them 84,097 pesos cash. So their cash increased. Why accounts receivable? Since this was on account, meaning their clients wasn't able to pay them before. Okay, so it's on the books muna. Okay? So cash, first cash, this is an asset, increase, debit. Alright, second account receivable, which is also an asset, which decrease, right? Since the normal balance of an asset is debit and increase, then this one is decrease, so we will have it credit. Letter E. For letter E, paid 100,000 pesos for electricity bills. So the business paid 100,000 pesos for electricity bill. Accounts affected, cash and electricity expense. This is an example of an expense in a business. So we will put first electricity expense. Okay. It is an expense account, which is increase. So, and the normal balance of an expense account is also debit. So this is debit. The second account affected is cash. Since they paid in cash, meaning their cash decreased. So the cash is an asset account. It decreased, so credit. Alright. For the last one, purchased 54,172 pesos of supplies on account, meaning the business bought 54,142 pesos worth of supplies on account, meaning liability. They haven't paid it yet. Okay, so the accounts affected are supplies and accounts payable. Supplies. Supplies is an asset account. It increased, so that. Next is Next is accounts payable. Accounts payable, since according to the transaction, it is on account. Utang, liability. Okay. Accounts payable is a liability account. It increased since they have increased in credit. And that is all for screenshot the answers. Alright, you can also screenshot the transaction.